Now the nativity ornament, Christmas tag, is a little different because it has an applique and it also is using mylar. So this one, you will have the placement line on the stabilizer, and then you'll place your fabric down, and there'll be the tack down, and then there will be the placement line for the applique. And it is supposed to have a bottom, flat bottom like this. What you want to do is you want to place your applique fabric plus your piece of mylar over top of this placement line, and take that to the machine for the tack down. And after it tacks down, you will remove, with the scissors, you will remove the excess fabric and mylar from these outer edges. Now what we're going to do is trim, like I said, this excess fabric that has been tacked down. I'm going to trim the mylar and the fabric, and then take it to the machine. And what will happen next is there will be the quilt design. Now the reason we did it like this is because I want the quilt design to go on top of the mylar as well as the background here. So, and then the finishing still stitch will come, I believe the next sequence. I'm not positive about that, but you want to trim, you know, so that you're close but not going into the stitches. We'll take that to the machine and have the quilt design go down. The satin stitch has gone down, and there's only one sequence left, and that will be the actual embroidery. And I'm going to take that to the machine and have that go down, and then I will show you how to put the design now into the little 4-inch hoop to use it as either a Christmas tag or an ornament. Now I have removed the design from the hoop and trimmed all the stabilizer and any excess of the pellon if you added additional fusible interfacing to the fabric. Oh, you also want to trim that all the way around. It's just because it'll be too bulky otherwise. Take the inner hoop, and now this has been painted. It's gold and it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but what you want to do is take the inner hoop and place your design inside it and centering it, getting it centered so that the quilting is in between the inner hoop on the inside. And that gives you your positioning for putting your outer hoop on. So then what you can do is kind of just leave it laying there, and it's got the embossing of where you just put it in, and open up your screw. You might even want to take it all the way out, and make sure that you are centering the opening of the screw at the center of the design, and move it around some, shift it around some if you need to. Now this is similar to our joy rings if you've done any of those, but I think this is a lot easier to put them in the hoops the way I'm doing it right here. Also, this one you want to finish off the back for sure, because this is going to be used either as an ornament or a Christmas tag, or you can put it on a Christmas gift and then they can use it as an ornament. Use it as a Christmas tag and then also an ornament. So once you get that in there, you will want to screw real tight, and then take your, hopefully you have a pair of double curve scissors or some sharp scissors at least, and you want to trim this excess fabric. But before you do that, you want to make sure that you've got your two hoops so that they're flush with one another, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So when we start trimming this, we're going to trim it all the way up. I'm going to trim it all the way up to the edge here. And we're going to be putting a back on. There is an SVG file included for you to cut your 4 1/4 inch circles out. If you don't have a cutter, you can cut them out by hand, but it gives you a nicer finish if you have the cutter. And these are the back is gonna lay. We're gonna glue that on right here. So you want your you want your inner and your outer hoop to be flush with one another. So we'll just trim this all the way around, and I'm not going to bore you doing that. So you can also do it with just a really good sharp pair of scissors. Actually, that works a little bit better. So I'm going to finish trimming that, and then I'll come back here and we'll finish up gluing this on. Now I have trimmed this all the way around and gotten up real close to the hoop itself, and as you can see, these are flush with each other now. I have not put any glue in it yet, but I do want to put some glue on this right here, that lip where the screw is. You want to put a little bit of glue in there, and I use the Fabri-Tac. Works really well. It comes, Joanne has that, and I'm sure you can get it online as well. Make sure that you are centered before you start gluing. Make sure you're centered with your screw. And now I'm going to add a little bit of glue in here to hold this piece down right here. And you will have to actually take your finger or something else. I'm just going to take this pair of scissors here and just push that down. And you might need to hold that down while it sets. Doesn't take long with Fabri-Tac. Now, nothing else has been glued, so you can shift that if you need to. Now you want to take your 4 1/4 circle, and I decided I think I'm going to use blue instead to kind of match the blue on the front. So this is going to lay just like this, and now you will want to take some glue and put some glue along the edge of the back side of the hoop, and you can also kind of get your two hoops glued together at the same time doing this. Your inner and your outer hoops. It's kind of messy. And then take your circle and lay your circle on there, making sure that you get it up to the edges. And this Fabri-Tac, it dries pretty fast, so you want to work quickly here. So now you can put a ribbon on it and tie it on a present, and then they can take it off and put it on their tree. Or these could just be used strictly as ornaments. So the mylar really adds a nice touch to this. This is the iridescent mylar. Hope you enjoy.